Hello everyone and welcome to episode 186 of the Xbox Hall of Gamers podcast. This week I'm joined by Keo.
Hey everyone.
Shane.
On Sunday.
Hola, hola.
And Jake.
Hello. Whoa. Hello.
That's fine. It's fine. Lots going on this week. Well, I mean, one or two big things that I'm sure, has kind of the internet in uproar, and I'm sure we all have thoughts about. But otherwise, how you guys been? Shane, what have you been up to?
Gaming, playing games, doing the gaming thing. I don't know. I haven't been doing a whole lot. I've actually been home and gaming a lot, so that's nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
You play video games as well, right, Jack?
Surprisingly, these days more so, which has been nice. Yeah, I mean, same, which is a good thing, because it seems like this summer I spent mostly not gaming. So what I've been up to since the last time I've been on has been gaming, which has been nice. Getting some good stuff in.
Not ashamed to hide his PlayStation.
I was about to say I saw a PlayStation completion trying to be snuck onto the channel there, so I didn't say Xbox gaming,
Whoops.
so I suppose
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
And Kia, what about you? It's great to have you on for a weekend show for a change.
Yeah, so I haven't been on a pod with the boys before, the US guys. So I now have consistent days, Sundays and Mondays here in Oz off. So the odd week I might be able to join regularly for these weekend ones as well.
It's been a while since we had a four-man pod as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, we do the show live on Twitch. Xbox Hall of Gamers is the place to find us, so come say hi, hang out in the chat, usual business. Let's just jump straight into it. Community questions. So we got a couple of questions this week. One from Red Ninja Dan, who says, if you guys were born in Avatar The Last Airbender world, what would your bending or sub-bending style be? For me, it would have to be water bending going into blood bending. I don't know. I don't want to know why you want to go into blood bending. That sounds... Water bending I get, but... I think bloodbending has exclusively been used for evil purposes. So,
Okay.
More or less.
Is it like giving like Sith Lord, like maybe I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. It's like I want to shoot
Sith.
lightning because I want to just yell unlimited power or like shoot Mace Windu out of a window. Yeah, I could. Yeah.
So this is where I guess I admit that I thought there were only 4 bendings. I haven't seen Avatar. Bloodbending is. Oh, you said bloodbending? I'm like, what?
Think about it. Water,
what fanfic?
Yeah,
Extra. I thought it was water, earth, fire, and wind.
I mean,
man.
yeah. So I guess
how many are there?
each of the bendings have their own sort of subcategories. So water bending has blood bending.
Right.
Fire has lightning because it's basically, and then earth has lava bending and metal bending technically as well.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And
Okay,
then,
like
and then they didn't really do anything for airbending because there was only one of them, so he didn't really get to show off a lot of cool stuff. There was a rumor back in the day that they were doing something with like climate control or something, or like some sort of like cooling, like
Chemtrails.
Chemtrail. That's
Ang
probably
is
what
the
it is.
government.
Yeah, exactly.
Chemtrail bending.
It's Ang is hiding the harp station. That's actually what's at the air temple, is that they've the giant harp monitoring station. And if you don't know what we're talking about, you're clearly not enough of a conspiracy nut. But yeah, I guess like in terms of like the main 4, water, air, fire, and earth, which one do you guys think you fit into most?
Fire.
Yeah, fair. Firehawk, I mean, it's in the name, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I have a theme. I stick to it. So
Fair.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like a bender or anything. I'd probably be like, what? I mean, have you seen their uniforms? That's a lot of red. They've got to get those washed all the time. I'm there. Like, leave me in the back room. I'll do all your laundry. I don't want to fight the last Avatar or whatever. No, thank you. I'm good.
But they also
That kid with the boomerang. No way.
But they also have hawks as well for messenger hawks. So actually, I think it all kind of it all lines up.
Okay. There you go.
Kia, what about you?
Well, I also only knew about the 4, and because I don't know anything about Avatar at all, except for one of the games that we played. I'm gonna have to go with metal bending, just because it's metal, right? So, and maybe I can actually, bend like minerals around my body parts to make some kind
There's an interesting idea, right? Because I guess the whole
Heal might like yeah.
not to get too nerdy here, but I mean, here we go. So the reason how metal bending came about was basically the person who invented it, Toph, is blind but is able to see using like sort of like an echolocation kind of thing by like ground movement, and was one of the only people to be able to find unrefined minerals within metal and use those to bend the metal itself. So the more pure the metal, the harder it is to bend, basically. So there's an interesting idea of like, could you bend the iron out of someone's blood?
Yeah, well, I was wondering about that because I thought that maybe the metal might have had something to do with the iron in the blood.
Yeah,
as
it could
well.
be.
Like,
Yeah,
it wouldn't have been water bending. That I was surprised that water bending had like
We are mostly water, to be fair.
the blood.
70% water.
Yep.
Although, yeah, you can only. Again, I'm just getting deep into lore here, but you can only traditionally blood bend during a full moon when the water bender's power is the highest. So it's like a one day a month thing. Jake, what about you?
They get weird with it.
You can get very weird with it.
I also did not know. I know, like most achievement hunters, know only about 10 minutes worth of Avatar.
True. If that.
If that.
To be fair, there was. I played that whole game and there is no metal bending or blood bending.
No,
in any of that.
yeah, what a surprise. Yeah, I think it's like season. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but yeah.
I do. It is on my list of shows to watch. I know it's supposed to be fantastic, and I plan to get there. But I guess lava bending sounds cool. I immediately think earth bending because it sounds neat. It feels me, and then lava bending sounds fun. Lava's cool. I like volcanoes. I like kind of thing.
Yeah, right. There'd be some weird like people out there that would try to meld lava bending with metal bending to kind of
maybe yeah
wicked stuff.
I mean I'm absolutely that kind of person who will fall asleep watching like weird documentaries, like nature documentaries or documentaries specifically like on volcanoes or Pompeii or whatever. So yeah, I think it's up my alley to be an earthbender.
Yeah, I think earth is where I sit as well. I mean, I'm between earth and water. I don't know. I like to think of myself as relatively flexible, and I think that the water tribe aesthetic is kind of cool, but I think the earth stuff just makes so much more sense. Building shit is cool. Being able to put up walls and stuff. And yeah, the metal bending thing also just would be super, super useful in day to day. All right. And there we have a question here from Cameron, who said, inspired by the baby Pip-Boy, which, if you haven't seen, go check out our Discord. Someone made basically like a Fisher-Price Pip-Boy thing. What's something from a video game that should be made for kids?
Portal gun.
Oh, actually, that's a great call. Yeah. I mean, yeah, actually, I mean, what is it? Aperture Science already had, like, they were already talking about using the turret.
Guaranteed they're already doing that.
For looking after babies and stuff. So yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. Basically anything in the Aperture Science lab, really.
Yeah.
That's a good
Kids
call.
love combustible lemons.
Yes. And and moon rock paint that gives you cancer or whatever it was.
Combustible lemons. You made me think of the Mega Buster. Give kids a Mega Buster.
I mean,
but like a toy one, like one that's using like a Nerf Mega Buster.
Yeah, like in Dead Rising.
Why is that? Give me that. Yeah, I was about to say, give me that. Thank you. That sounds awesome.
Tennis balls or whatever. Just
yeah.
I'm down for that for sure.
I don't know. I wish I had more time for this question because it's actually a really good question. But I would say you'd have to augment a pram somehow with some kind of Mario Kart shit.
Yeah.
Well, they did that, right? Mario Kart. Was it just called Mario Kart Live? What was the Mario Kart RC Kart?
Oh yeah,
the RC Kart.
RC Kart. Yeah, that's true. They did do that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, turning actual prams in. Like, there was a pram kart in, what, Double Dash?
Double Dash, yeah. I was just thinking of the plant, yeah.
Because it had the baby Mario and Luigi in it.
Yeah.
So I think we need to go the next level with the prams. So even if they transform, right, into some of the new ones, like you transform them into, like, gliders and shit. We can come up with something for babies that'll make it productive.
Mm.
You know, change tables. Turn the prams into change tables. Turn them into like other things. We can do that transform.
Just make them Transformers themed. Yeah.
Oh, you can do that too. Bit of yellow, blue, red, whatever.
I'm thinking like a lightsaber that doesn't actually cut anything. It's just more like a, just kind of just hits them. It's just a glowing rod, basically, just bonk.
Pretty sure they have those.
Yeah.
They're very expensive.
Yeah, they are
But you
very
can get 'em.
expensive. Yeah. For kids, though, well, actually, no, to be fair, kids are the ones who want them, so big kids mainly.
I don't know about that. I'm about to say, I was just at Disney, and boy, there were not many kids waiting for those lightsabers.
Well, yeah, I mean, what are they, like $500 or something ridiculous? I can't even remember. Yeah, trust me, I looked at it. I was so tempted, but I wouldn't have been able to get it home in the luggage, so that was my excuse. Yeah, I don't know. As someone who does not have a child, I don't really think about things for kids, because kids got enough things.
What was the one I said earlier?
Game
Oh yeah, BFG.
BFG,
Because
yeah.
of being right. Yeah, obviously, kids get that kid a gun for sure.
I just love that. Yeah, just
Yeah.
like Halo power armor for a kid or whatever. Keep them safe.
Yep.
I mean, you have to go with like a game that has lots of unique weapons. So you can give a kid something really weird. I don't know. Like, what was that one game on PlayStation with all the weird guns, like a shark gun and stuff?
Oh,
Ooh, or a melee weapon.
yeah.
Borderlands,
Like a
the gun
hit.
that shoots guns.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
something like
well,
Ratchet
I
and
mean-
Clank or something, right? Where they just have kind of like
Yeah.
fun weapons to play around with.
The
Transform
disco
back
gun.
from
There you
Saints Row.
go.
Yes, there you go.
Give
yeah.
it.
Ooh.
Give a kid a gun that shoots a disco ball that forces people to dance. I'm sure that wouldn't get old.
I'm sure that'd be great.
Let me
yeah.
tell you, parents love when you get your kids things that make noises.
Yeah.
That's their favorite thing in the world. I have done it many times, and they're always so appreciative.
I'm already
Yeah.
planning on giving my my godchild a drum set for her next birthday. So I'm sure
excellent.
parents will look forward to that.
Good job.
Of
There you go.
course. Yeah. Shield bubbles. That would work. There's many reasons why you'd want a shield
Yeah,
bubble.
like a bouncy bubble. Yeah, I can see that.
So, yeah.
But yeah, weird question, Cameron. Why the fuck did you ask that?
He has something to tell us.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm sure I'll hear about it next week.
He's
No.
after the marriage has happened, so he's lining up the next.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. He's like, what am I going to buy? And then I was asked to read this out. 1 second, I'm just going to pull it up here. Cameron has also asked me to read this out. We had a return from my good friend Logic Dad, Mr. Isaac, our question aster extraordinaire, who says, congratulations on Cameron for getting married, or my favorite way of saying it, congratulations. And he shows the meme from Angry Video Game Nerd. In other news, the hiatus is hopefully coming to an end at some point, though who knows. We finally get our return ticket to Japan for good. We'll be returning in July. He's looking for a remote job. Other options to work on. And then he said, I wrote all of that in the main I thought I wrote all of that in the main channel, but it's in the question channel. So Cameron's asked me to read that out, considering it was in the questions channel. But I don't think there was an actual question there. But yeah, just letting everyone know that Isaac is coming back. So we're looking forward to hopefully hearing some more questions from him soon.
Yeah. And, you can listen to us from anywhere in the world. by
That's
the
true.
way.
That is true. But he's a
Don't go away.
Global. This is a global podcast. They don't make them all like that.
That's true. Sometimes they're they're very regional.
Yeah.
Like when we get Alex on here and he starts talking about Australian things that even I've never heard of.
Yeah, the local footy.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I suppose we should get into the big news this week, which is, oh boy, Game Pass is doing a big revamp, and I don't think a single person is happy with this. I mean, no one's happy with price hikes, but I don't think I've seen a single positive comment about this entire thing. This has permeated so many things things that I follow are people talking about this, people weighing in who aren't even like strictly video game people who just like, oh, I play video games, but I have thoughts about this because it's just been huge news.
Yeah.
But for those,
Tell you what,
yes,
right off rip, it makes my ROG Xbox Series X pre-order feel a little bit worse.
yeah,
Feel a little worse. I'm still
Yeah.
not like it's still a gaming PC, a handheld PC that I wanted one anyway. I'm gonna load ROMs to it and play Steam, and it's gonna be great. But Oh, that makes me feel a little sucky.
Yeah. I have since then been looking at the other options that are out there, like the Lenovo Legion and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Going,
I mean,
get-
I already paid for mine, so I'm
Yeah.
just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I could cancel it and return it, but like,
Yeah.
whatever. I already paid for it. I have it locked down. I'm getting it in a couple weeks.
Yeah. So if you've been living under a rock or you haven't heard about this for whatever reason, so Game Pass is getting a huge revamp. So they've now changed the tiers. So originally it was Ultimate. Was it Ultimate? Was the one down from that? I can't remember what it was.
Standard,
Standard,
and then
Ultimate Standard,
Core.
and then Core. They've now revamped them. Some of the name changes and a few different features as well. So Ultimate is staying Ultimate, but is now getting a $10 American price increase. That's about, I think it's about $15 increase over here in New
50%.
Zealand. I think Australia is roughly that as well.
It's $35.95, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going up to 45. Obviously no one's happy with that. But they've also added Ubisoft Plus Classics and Fortnite Crew will now be added to Ultimate as new features. So Ubisoft Classics is very similar to what EA do with their ones, where basically it's their older stuff that's not day one that they kind of add every sort of year or so after the release. So there's a shitload of games that have been added from that into Game Pass now, about 90 of them, most of which are terrible to be fair, but a lot of Assassin's Creed stuff, a lot of really old stuff.
Boy, about to say, if you need to catch up on Assassin's Creed, oh boy.
Now's the time. Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Though honestly, funny enough, the game I'm the most excited for on that is Anno 1800. I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was on there.
Like,
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that I saw that. That was on my Game Pass library. I'm like, oh, that's okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was like the only one.
I blame Silksong.
You blame Silk. What has Silk Song done to you?
Silksong, it came out. It actually released, and Microsoft is like, well, looks like we did it, boys. We can actually, go that one step further now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We all knew this was coming, though.
yeah, that's the thing, right? Like this isn't a huge surprise. We are definitely in that. There has been a lot of talk around how Game Pass has not really been sustainable by some people. Then again, I don't know. Microsoft have just came out and said that it made $5 billion in revenue over the last year or whatever. Some ridiculous number. Now revenue obviously is not profit, so obviously there's a cost benefit analysis there to do. But this is a pretty big hike. I mean, this is a 50% increase
in America.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
America, and even more in some other territories. I think in Brazil, it went up like 100%. Like a lot of other places are seeing much bigger increases. And this is after an increase that they did back in 2023. So like over the last year and a half, this service has basically doubled in price without much more in terms of benefits, especially if you don't give a shit about Ubisoft games or Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wrap this up before we get into talking about it. But the other sort of changes are that we now have a premium tier, which is the standard tier has now become premium. That price is staying the same currently. That they're also giving access to cloud gaming to everyone. So all three tiers. Core is now becoming Essentials, I think it's called. Again, those aren't currently really changing at all, other than sort of streaming is now available to all tiers, which is a good change, to be fair. I think you get better speeds and higher visual. I think you get 1440p for streaming on Ultimate, and it's just 1080p everywhere else. And they've kind of made that promise that the day one things aren't going to be in premium, but any Xbox game published within a year will be added to the service. Except for COD. They very explicitly call out that COD is not included in that, and basically probably won't ever get added to the premium tiers.
Yeah, I bet that's written in some Activision contract somewhere. Like, do not do that.
Yeah, they're like, no. Like, Ultimate is the only way you get to play COD day one, and we're going to charge you an extra 50% to do that, because they know that's where the moneymaker is, right? That they're really giving up a lot of sales to try and get that onto Game Pass. I don't know. I mean, any thoughts off the get-go in terms of like
I just wish,
and where you're sitting with this?
I mean, we got, I don't know. I am waffling on canceling. Like I will be the first to admit I I rang the bell of it's still worth it when they raised it to $20.
Sure.
I was like, nope. I'm like, this is a price increase. No one likes price increases, but I still think the value's there and it's totally worth it. And I think, if you can swing it, you should do it. I'm having a lot harder time selling it with this one. This is a big one. The stuff they're adding is pretty lackluster. Like, I guess if all you play are AAA games, you've probably already played all of the Assassin's Creed. Like, the only people it would feel like it's good for are the people who only play AAA games. And if you only play AAA games, you probably played all the Assassin's Creed already.
And you probably don't play Fortnite.
You probably don't play Fortnite too much. Yeah, I'm waffling switching down to the premium tier instead of ultimate. I just wish the big three publishers would seemingly stop fucking it up for everybody. Like, there's a story we'll talk about a little later, obviously, but I wish Activision, Ubisoft, and EA would just like stay the fuck away. And like, it seems like everything they touch is just turning to shit constantly.
Yeah.
Activision mergers likely a massive cause for this price increase. And Ubisoft Plus thinking, oh, we'll add some value. So that's obviously a huge reason it's going up, is because Microsoft has to pay Ubisoft to get it in their service. But it's like nobody was asking for that. Nobody wants it. EA's been EA for a decade now, and I mean, again, we'll talk about it later, but probably recently spelled the doom of their entire company, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the future of gaming is indies and AA studios, and we just continue to see the three top dogs continue to fuck it up for everybody.
Yeah. Shane, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I am going to say, yeah, if you are playing enough new games in day one and all, $30 is still a great deal. Like, if you can play 2 day one big releases and enjoy them in a month, the $30 is well worth it. Not for me, though. You guys know I'm mostly playing older games or games leaving Game Pass, which I'm curious to see how that goes with the different tiers and everything. But yeah, I'm dropping down to premium. It's just not worth it for me. I do love that they have cloud on everything. That's cool. I want them to keep getting that infrastructure and that support, because I think cloud is awesome. And then I think premium got PC Game Pass too, didn't it?
Yes.
Yes,
it's
on
all three of them.
3 tiers, I think, but the games.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Those are good things.
And you still can
Considering
get
those
PC
prices
Game
didn't go
Pass
up.
itself. I think it's going up by like $5 or so.
Yep.
So like, if you really
Which is
just
good
want
for the
PC
ROG
stuff,
Ally and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see what kind of PC games are dropped out of that, like if for the lower tiers. So
Yeah, if they make any changes to that, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, for me, it's whatever, man. Speak with your money. If you have a problem with this, getting online and complaining about it is gonna do maybe something. But if everyone drops down to premium, if that's what you care about, then do that. I mean, speak with your money. I'm gonna drop down to premium. I'm sure a lot of people are. I'm sure a lot of people will just stay in Ultimate, honestly. I see that being a huge boon for them. I mean, Fortnite, like, all you do is tell parents, hey, Fortnite and free games for your kids. Boom, they're going to get their kids Ultimate. And we've already seen on our dashboards.
I would have never been able to, like, I couldn't convince my parents to give me a $5 a month RuneScape membership.
Yeah, I couldn't get anything when I was a kid. I had no subscriptions whatsoever, but it's a different world.
It's true.
These parents might be spending, of course, then our economy is terrible, but they might be spending money already on Fortnite and adding, just K-pop Demon Hunters just came for Fortnite. Like, that pack is $30. How many millions of kids do you think are probably ordering that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for that price, you can also get Game Pass. I don't know. I think it'll, to the detriment of people that do want it, it's going to, or that want it to go down. I think it's going to land where they're going to be making buku bucks off this change. I mean, the everyone's gonna lash out, everyone's gonna get mad, everyone's gonna complain, everyone's gonna change, cancel. But then I think it's gonna slowly trickle back up, and they're gonna see that just it won't matter to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going down to premium. It's cheap enough. That's very manageable. It didn't go up in price yet. Yeah, and then I'll pop up to Ultimate if I see something I want. Again, like Outer Wilds 2. Or no,
Outer Worlds.
is it Outer Wilds? Outer Worlds.
Outer
Yeah,
Worlds
Outer Worlds
2.
2. That's worth it, man. If you want to jump to Ultimate, play that for a month.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's my big thing. Is I just like, dude, I don't know the last time I jumped on like a day one Game Pass release either.
South of Midnight. That was mine.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm thinking is. I'm kind of in between. They also have been talking about how they're guaranteeing 75 plus day one games per year on Ultimate, which is I think basically double what they've done this year. So they're obviously got some big plans for like leveraging Ultimate to be a big thing for Game Pass, and they're going to make that split between the premium and Ultimate quite big in terms of what they want to do. Yeah, like I don't tend to play things day one for the most part, but I do like to play them maybe a bit sooner than a year after they come out, you know? Like, I think, I don't know, like, if I had a better idea of how long it'll take things from day one, from Ultimate down to Premium, I might be more comfortable moving to Premium. I mean, it's kind of a moot point for me because I'm stocked up for like 3 years on Ultimate because I'm just like invested. So I'm like, well, fuck, even if I want to drop down, I'm going to have to wait. But on the other side, I think that like the prices are never going to go down for these things, right? Like subscription services never get cheaper ever.
No.
So like, I don't know. Like I'm with Ultimate for now. If after 3 years Premium is still around, if Xbox is still around, we'll see. I probably will drop down to Premium. I don't really feel like I need all of that day one stuff straight away, but I like having it for the health of this podcast and being able to talk about stuff that's more recent and not just
new.
I made a joke on the Discord when this got announced. Was there's like, well, the podcast is just going to turn into, wow, look at this weird game I found in my backlog because like I'm fucking not going to play anything new for the next foreseeable future.
Hey, that's me already.
Yeah,
so.
right. So it's like which is like is
yeah.
fine. Like I definitely think there's value in like looking for gems and talk about older games, that sort of stuff. But from a SEO perspective, from a like engagement perspective, and talking about like the zeitgeist and how games culture changes around the games that we play and what's coming out. There is definitely an impetus to want to try at least some of the newer stuff. Especially if, like when we talk about like Game of the Year chat, like Game Pass has been invaluable for that in terms of giving me access to titles that I don't even know if I'd like, but I want to play because they're this year's titles and I want to talk about them for our awards at the end. But that's more of a personal thing for me.
Where I stand with it is that like I mean like I don't even finish or start like half of the games that come out. Like I started Indiana Jones, haven't played it through. Like Starfield, didn't play that too. That was 2 years ago. Like there's a lot of room for me to just not bother with it. So I don't need the stuff day one either, really. So now it's like, okay, buying games is now a little bit more tangible in terms of like what you're doing. You wait for a sales, you get it cheaper. Because like, there's this thing with Game Pass where it's like, oh, it's, I'm not going to play it. I don't need to buy it because it's on Game Pass. But then it's like, I don't feel so bad about buying something because I don't care that it's in Game Pass now.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
it's like, I can go down to premium, not need stuff day one. It'll come in eventually anyway. And I'm just missing Call of Duty. I mean, that's okay. I did multiplayer Call of Duty the last couple of years. I still haven't finished my zombie achievements in like Modern Warfare. So like, I'm good with the old stuff. I'll just wait for that campaign to come out. So, and like I buy stuff when it goes out of Game Pass anyway. So it's not a big deal. I'll probably go down to premium myself. So yeah.
That's my big thing is I mean, and I always say this is a separate hobby than gaming, but I'm a physical collector, so I end up buying all my, like, even if I have access to it in Game Pass, I'll buy a physical copy to put on my shelf.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, totally. I bought a lot of physical copies this year. Like I've got Elden Ring Night Rain. I have Monster Hunter Wilds. I've got Metal Gear Delta now. So there's a few new ones that I've got plenty of time. I can go back on the disc and just do it. So, yeah. So,
Yeah, I think I'm probably more on the Shane side of things, where it's like we tend to view games as consumables. But I know what you mean, though. It's like,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm definitely curious
How
around
long-
that. Yeah, like what's going to be leaving Game Pass, and does this change?
Yeah.
Does this
That's what I
change
was
how long
thinking.
things stick in the service for? We have seen some games sticking for a bit longer than the usual 12 months now, and I'm wondering if that's
We've also
because.
seen.
Sorry.
Sorry. 3 months.
Yeah, we've seen very short ones too. There's been a couple of those, like was it Borderlands was really short. GTA and like Rockstar stuff is always very, very short. But I'm curious to see if that is like something has like an ultimate for 6 months and then premium for a year or something like along those lines. Because something like Octopath Traveler 2, for example, like I was expecting that to be gone by now, but it looks like it's sticking around till maybe January.
Well, and that was a thing where Square was pulling all their games off for like they were on a streak of just like we're ripping everything off, and then they kind of went real heavy into Sony for a while, and then it's a cycle. It's cyclical with Square. They go, we're gonna go third party because being kind of timed exclusive and buddy with Sony is not doing well for our bankroll. And then they go, oh, Sony offered us a nice lump sum. We're gonna go back to being buddies with Sony, and then that time elapses, and they go, our bankroll's looking pretty small again, so we're gonna go back to being friends with everybody, and the cycle repeats. And Square was doing that. That was Octopath came off around the time Square was pulling Dragon Quest and pulling Final Fantasies and pulling this, pulling that left and right. And now we're in an era where I think Square is trying to be buddies with everyone again. They're dropping Final Fantasy 16, 7 Remake, Octopath Traveler 2. Like it just makes sense.
They're showing up in the main Game Pass, but then they're making their way down to core. So it's like, okay, there's
and so stuff in core is like, how long does stuff stick around in core for? So I'm very curious around this tiering of like, hey, something's been in Ultimate for a year and it hasn't dropped down, which would be unusual, hasn't dropped down, and then it's leaving. Like, I want to see how many games stay at Ultimate and never move before they get removed. I imagine there's probably not many of them. There seems to be some sort of
that's what I'm
grading
curious
plan.
about.
And I'll see if this changes with this, if it's like Ultimate becomes a very, very different, like a very distinct thing from Premium. Because I think I'd be happy with Premium for the most part. Like, there's so much shit on Game Pass, and like I played a lot of it, but every now and then I dig through them, like, oh yeah, I completely forgot about this. Like, what was it, like My Friendly Neighborhood or whatever got added a while back. It's one of that weird one with like the first person Muppets
I played that last night.
And like I have that installed, and I was like, I completely forgot that this even came out. But yeah, I also really want to see what that day one output is like, because obviously that's not just AAA Xbox games. It's like indie games, like things like Hollow Knight that come out day and date that they're including in that list. Like, what's the level of quality of those of those day one games if they're doubling the number that they did this year?
Exactly. Zach in the chat.
Farm and Sheep Simulator 17. It's one of them.
Zach is saying like make it modular, like choose your perks.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. There's been a lot of chat around like doing the I don't know, the subscription streaming model of like or cable or whatever, where it's like, hey, I have this service and I want to add bits and pieces onto it for a discount. But I don't think they'll ever want to do that. Right?
And then your Paramount Plus service in that, as opposed to buying it separately.
But yeah, the last thing I want to say, it does seem like Ultimate is a bit of a weird grab bag. I think to your guys' point around, it's mainly for people who are interested in day one stuff, which is mostly going to be AAA, but also like indies as well. So who's super interested in day one AAAs and indies and EA stuff, old EA stuff and old Ubisoft stuff and Fortnite and probably like the best cloud streaming service. It just feels like this is a group of like 3 or 4 different types of people.
Yeah.
But you can say you have it though. Like,
that's true.
There's value in that.
Yeah, that's true.
I will say, and I want Microsoft to hear this, I can't wait until Sony finally makes PS Remote Play work on handheld PCs so I can just PS Remote Play my Xbox ROG Ally X.
Yeah. I mean, it's all open, right? They're going to have the other storefronts on this, so why not?
Well, you can. I mean, the PS Remote Play is weird because you actually, to get it working on any of the remote handheld console or handheld PCs today, you actually have to go download a you have to run it through a third party, not actually the PS
Right.
Remote Play app,
Got it.
because the PS Remote Play app is very, very strict on enforcing using the DualSense controller. Like if you do it on, because I played it on my tablet, I've done it on my phone and my computer, and you have to be Bluetoothing a DualSense controller for it to work,
Right.
which is
wild.
wild.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's in the works that they're going to be a little more nice, and they're going to release just a whatever version on desktop or something. And when that happens, then you can play natively on the Steam Deck and the ROG allies. But
Yeah.
until then,
Just going around on the internet looking at who's been commenting on this, there's been a lot of chatter on the Twitters, especially from people, even from like Xbox aligned people. So like even Jess Corden from Windows Central was talking about, didn't think he'd ever unsubscribe from Game Pass Ultimate, but super curious around the data of like how many people do they think is actually are going to stick around with the new model. It like obviously they've crunched the numbers before they did this, right? They figured that the amount of people on Ultimate, of how much it's costing versus how much they're bringing in, and the amount of people they'll lose to the lower tiers is enough for them to make this decision. You don't just kind of make this sort of stuff willy-nilly for the most part.
Yeah, I love how people act like someone just sat down and went, "We're bringing it up to $30." All right, boss. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
A lot of people went over the numbers and were like, "Okay, we're going to, this is future growth, and this is how much we're probably going to lose, and we're looking at this kind of time frame to make this." They do a lot of number crunching. So, I mean, is it a good choice? We'll see. But for now, it's their right choice. So they're not going to stop or reverse it.
And also, if you're going down a tier to premium, just cancel your subscription and let it play out to the end, so that they don't dog you from any like extra month or something.
Yeah, turn off your auto renewal, basically. Yeah.
It basically, because some of the reports were saying like that it was changing over straight away, and basically you'd be losing your 200 games or whatever off your ultimate. So it might not run through the end of the tier. So
what's weird is I went to go cancel mine, but it still says I'm getting charged the old price for next payment. So I'm just going to stay in ultimate for now, I guess.
Do you know, like
the 12th?
Yeah, because I think the new one, the new pricing doesn't roll in for existing people until November. So if you sign up now, you pay the new prices.
I'll be ultimate for at least another month.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what a lot of them are banking on. Just kind of going, well, I'll ride this month out and just turn renewal off and drop down afterwards.
Yeah.
Or forget.
Yeah, well, that's also probably what they're counting on, is people forgetting. But man, I already pay for a fucking Spotify subscription, and it's these subscriptions.
Oh, I canceled so many subscriptions this last couple months.
I'm canceling Netflix and Disney Plus. Yeah. Like as soon as the girlfriend's done watching Only Murders in the Building, Disney Plus is going. Netflix can go any day because,
yeah, that's
my wife.
Yeah, we're gonna start rotating over through two.
Yeah, my wife watches everything. She'll swap between every single one, and I'm just like, I can't cancel any of them. So,
yeah,
I feel that.
Yeah, so we've had comments from like Laura Fryer, who's an Xbox co-founder and originally at Microsoft Game Studios. Which is talking about like how the Game Pass price increase has really destroyed like the one advantage that Xbox fans kind of have been clinging to. Like people have been talking about how Game Pass has been the best value in gaming for years, even when they did the price increase last time and when they did the tiering stuff and all that kind of thing. Like people have just been like, well, there's still just a great value, and it still is good value, I think, overall, if you could get the most out of it. But I think we are getting to that upper limit, especially like Shane said, like people are struggling to pay their bills at the moment. Like times are tough. This feels like a really tone-deaf move to make. But I guess we'll see.
Tough times.
Yeah, it's definitely tough times. There was also a comment from the former head of the FCC talking about how basically saying "I told you so" in terms of like the merger between Activision and Microsoft making this happen. And like I said,
we all knew this was happening.
Yeah, of course. Like this was always going to happen, right? But I just think no one was quite prepared for how much they were going to jump the shark on that pricing, because incremental prices increase were not. People didn't mind too much when it increased last time. I mean, people weren't happy about it, but it wasn't the end of the world. But this is a big fucking jump. So
I am curious, thinking about it, $30 a month. How many games are people buying every month? Like that's really not that expensive if you think about it.
Yeah, it depends.
Like 2 indie-ish games, okay-ish AAA games, that's gonna cover that price. I don't know.
It's the
If
principal
it gets to
change.
like 60, oh no, 100%, I get that. But I'm just saying logically,
Yeah,
like if
basically
it's
paying
60,
more
then
and
I'm
getting
like,
nothing more out
okay.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends. It really depends. Yeah, exactly. How many games you're buying over a year? Like, do you spend more than $360 on games a year? If the answer is, I don't know what the answer is. Then you look at what's in Game Pass and you go, are these all games I'd buy anyway? And if the answer is yes, then it's like, okay, it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
Still, like to this day, still. But
That's
the
the bit that
principle
I'm
of the
weighing
thing,
up.
damn it.
Because there's a lot of stuff in Game Pass that I'm like, wow, there's some really cool stuff that I never would have heard of or never would have seen, and there's a good discoverability aspect there. But it's like, but would I have bought this if it wasn't in Game Pass? And you could look at the whole library of stuff that comes to Xbox every week, and I go, yeah, I'm not buying any of that unless it's on a deep discount, and and also I get a recommendation from someone because there's just too many fucking games. So I'm like, I don't think I would have. Most of the stuff on Game Pass I probably wouldn't have bought. There are definitely exceptions, but I think the majority, like again, I'm not saying I don't get a lot out of the service, but it is definitely a thing of like, well, I'm making the most of it, but I'm making the most of something that I wouldn't have necessarily spent money on. So am I better off? I think yes, for now, but I think it will also depend on what that output looks like for the next year.
Maybe in another light, because I did see some friends talking about this. If you canceled, I have some friends who are going premium. I have some who are going essentials, and I have some who are just like I'm out, and that's all fine. But they pointed out that like, yeah, we're just like freeing ourselves from it because we just have all these other games, all these other unplayed games that we bought, and we just like keep playing what's coming out on Game Pass. So there is an angle to look at it like you're freeing yourself from the shackles of a subscription service you're paying.
Yeah,
and you can just
and
kind
next
of
we
go
can stop
back to
achievement hunting.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Really free us for our bonds.
You go back to you have the freedom to play what you buy, and you only play what you buy, and you're more intentional with what you're playing. There's something to be said about
I
that.
definitely play less trash these days. I mean, yeah, there was that period where Game Pass was a little quiet when it first started up, and I stopped buying games for a couple of years. So this was back in like the real Gamer Score days, and was going, okay, cool. I'm only going to play backlog. I'll buy maybe like one game a month, if that, and only if it's on sale. And I won't, and like stop buying trash, buy things I actually want to play, things I'm interested in. And I try and keep to that methodology, but you're right. Like the Game Pass thing is that just a dump truck just comes every month and just piles a bunch of shit on top, going, fuck. All right, well, I need to try and figure out where this fits, because I also know that I need to prioritize some of those because those will be leaving at some point.
Yeah, I was say the irony and the funny thing is the games you're putting on the back seat are the games you intentionally invested money in already, because these other games have a expiration date.
Yeah.
And we don't always know what that expiration date is, so you're just kind of like there's this anxiety to get to it, and then while you're doing that, you're leaving behind stuff that you intentionally paid for because you would invest like an intentional interest in it. So that's kind of it's an interesting thing to look at, I suppose.
Having said that, though, some of that stuff that I bought over the years is absolute fucking trash. And the more I look at it, and I've started a few of those games, and I was like, wow, why did I buy this? Like, why did I get into this?
There's something also to be said about things just aging really shit. Back in 2011, I was like Dungeons 3, or not Dungeons 3. Dungeons 3 is actually sick. Dungeon Siege 3.
Yes.
I was back in 2011 when all I had was an Xbox 360, and that was what I knew for dungeon crawlers. I was like, dude, Dungeon Siege 3, this game looks sick. I want to buy this one day. Then I buy it one day. Probably, I don't know, 2014 or something. I don't play it yet, obviously. I finally get to it in like 2018. By 2018, I play through it. Dude, game was just the most miserable 60 hours I've dumped into a game. Like it was awful. Didn't age well. Aged like milk in the Arizona desert, man. Yeah, so that happens. That can absolutely happen.
Yeah. We really need.
I played it in 2011. Would it have been amazing? Probably not amazing, but it would have been palatable.
Sure.
In 2018, it is not palatable.
Comparison is the theft of joy,
definitely
right?
need a list of each game in each tier. to see if the value is there.
Yeah,
for
I
what
would
they
like to
wanna
see
put
more of
in.
that too, in
So,
terms of like, yeah, how this sort of split happens, and also how long it takes things to move down, and how often things don't move
yeah,
down, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I
yeah,
guess we'll see how this shakes out. I've got 3 years of having to just live with this, I guess, because that's is what it is, and I'm not going to downgrade my service just on principle. But I have turned off auto renewal. Not that it fucking matters, because who knows if I'll even be here in 3 years, for fuck's sake. So
Can you still like I stopped doing this because I like I guess in a fortunate spot where I didn't feel I needed to go deal hunting anymore. But when I started Game Pass, I would very frequently go to like Amazon or some other key seller and get Game Pass for half off, basically, or less, and I'd buy a year at a time. Is that still around? Like, can you still go get a Game Pass Ultimate key for 3 months for what is like what half of a normal 3 months would be, or
not
something?
really, not at a main retailer. I know some of the like CD keys and those kind of like reseller things or whatever. Like I think they were doing like 20% off, but now if you go and look at them now, because I was curious, gone, because everyone's bought them up because like, oh, price increase is coming, so I need to invest. So your best bet now is like, if you want to beat this price increase, is to go to, so like EB and Amazon and all this stuff are all and GameStop are all selling them at the current standard price. So like if
yes,
you want to lock in at that $20 amount before it moves up to 30, now's the time to go and buy 3 years of it and just chuck it all on your
Did you
account.
see those GameStop ads? All the Facebook social
Yes.
posts,
Yeah, some really good
like
ones.
trolling, some pretty strong Xbox One announcement, PlayStation trolling level. Like
Yeah.
they're hitting them hard, which
Yeah.
is weird because they're also the ones putting them out of business, like
What?
Game Pass specifically. But
I mean, I don't know, like
whatever. Okay,
every
sure.
time you go into like a GameStop or an EB Games these days, like the Xbox section is basically non-existent. Like that,
Pretty
they've been
much.
shrinking and shrinking and shrinking that for a long time. Yeah, but yeah, lots of comments, lots of thoughts. Be very curious to see how this shakes out. We'll stay tuned and give us some updates on what people are thinking, and I think an Xbox executive tried to come out there and try to explain it and just got dumpstered on, which no fucking surprise there. Like
Yeah, it's like why even bother, man?
it's gonna wait for it to blow over. Yeah.
yeah,
Like you can't say the truth. You're just gonna give us business BS. Just don't.
Yeah,
Just don't.
just don't bother.
Just don't.
yeah. We're giving you more.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we talk about something more happier, please?
Yeah, so
Oh.
EA, everyone's favorite.
Rick. No, never mind. I'm
Yep,
out.
everyone's favorite third-party publisher. I think voted twice the worst company in America back in the day. I remember when that happened. I think they beat out ExxonMobil, which is to give you an idea of what people are thinking.
That was the dumbest thing ever, by the way.
Right, yeah, it's crazy. And the only reason EA didn't win for a third year is they stopped doing the award. So, yeah, EA, we talked about it last week, but there was a rumor about the acquisition of about 50 billion. Turns out it was 55 billion, but it was 100% on the mark. It looks like EA has been as having a private leveraged buyout by a bunch of investors. So basically, they'll no longer be a publicly traded company. Those investors include the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, which we've seen a lot of over the last few years. They've been dipping their toes into a lot of businesses. They're also responsible for Embrace's biggest issues at the moment by pulling out of that deal. For I think it was like 3 billion or something, which is crazy. Silver Lake, which apparently I think is like a tech investing conglomerate, and affinity partners including like Jared Kushner. So like again, very weird group of people, but sure.
Dyers. This is bad.
Okay, yeah,
It
sure.
is very bad.
This is
Yeah.
not gonna be good, right? Like I just,
I
yeah,
I heard when I heard about this rumor at first, I think the reporting was inaccurate. I think it was like all still very speculatory, and what it sounded like was EA was trying to buy themselves back and go private, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. They want to stop like chasing market trends and shareholder value. It's like, okay, that could be good. And then I hear it's a private equity, Saudi Arabia private equity, and I was like, oh, so EA is going to be gone in 3 years. Sounds good.
yeah.
Got it.
Just the key thing here, I think, is that this is a leveraged buyout. Which, if you don't know what that means, it basically means that they're going to take on 20 billion in debt to basically complete this deal. So these guys are going to want to make money from this very, very quickly because they're taking a shitload of debt on it. So Saudi Arabia, if you don't know, has been trying to divest themselves from the oil business and diversify into other things, and mostly into technology and the entertainment space, which is why they've been popping up all over the place in terms of like movies, music, TV, video games. So it looks like the deal is expected to close sometime in early 2027. So there's a little bit of time before this actually happens, but it is like it's on the books. I don't think there's going to be anything stopping it from happening. Compelling value for shareholders, basically, in the best interest of all stakeholders. I really don't know.
Okay, because we were worried about them.
Yeah, right. They also have investments in Take-Two, Activision Blizzard, Capcom, Nexon, Nintendo, and they also are in esports. They do a big push for esports in ESL, and they own Pokemon Go and all sort of stuff. And they have so they currently have like a 10% stake.
Niantic,
in EA. So I really this is going to be bad. I don't foresee anything good coming out of this. I don't think this is going to add any value to EA or to any gamers or anything like that.
Yeah, they've pushed their limits to their ownership of as many companies as they've been able to.
They got the money though,
so
they have the capital.
They do for now, yeah. I don't think this is going to pay off for them either, though. To be honest, like realistically, they've been
Yeah, EA, weird choice.
I hope what we see out of this is the dissolving of EA and the selling of IPs, so that people who actually action on and can make these good games start making. Like I think of like, this is a pipe dream world. What if like the Mass Effect IP was sold to CD Projekt Red?
Sure.
Stuff like that. Like that's what I would like to think about. I don't know what that's a pipe dream. That's me just being like hoping, crossing my fingers. But like, I don't know. I agree. I don't see this going well. I do see a world where this is the death of the company of EA, and they try to recoup their losses and sell IPs, and that could be cool.
And you'll have the smaller creators that are like, well, my moral values sit differently, so I'm not getting my game published from you.
I mean,
so
to be fair, EA's been a bit of a weird spot for game publishing for a little while now, right? Like in terms of if we think about what EA has been doing in the gaming space, a lot of us have been like, oh, EA hasn't really put out much that we've been interested in. BioWare was kind of their RPG kind of super nerdy shit, and Anthem flopped. I've been playing Veilguard and it's not very good, and I know it sold like half as much as they were hoping. Like an acquisition like this probably means that BioWare's probably done, right? I think they're just, there's been talk of that studio about like just waiting for the axe to fall, because it's, as soon as they need to cut costs and they've got Mass Effect in pre-production, who knows, there's probably another 3 years worth of work at least, probably a next generation game. There's no way that's happening. Like they're done. I think, Saudi Arabia obviously have had a big investment in sports recently, and I think maybe that's the other appealing part, is that, American football and FC football and I guess the other bits and pieces that kind of EA work on in that space with those licenses is probably the biggest appealing thing. But what probably is going to happen is bits of this business are going to be carved off and just left with the debt and then dissolved. Similar to what Ubisoft have been kind of doing around like splitting themselves up into their most profitable parts and then their least profitable parts. Yeah, I'm really, really concerned for like what EA has coming.
I do forget, as not bro gamer, how much market share of gamers, or people that play games, maybe we'd rather say, is FIFA and Madden. Yeah. It's such a huge market share of people who play games.
Especially FIFA.
Yeah, or FC as they call it now, because they don't have to pay FIFA any money for it anymore.
FC.
Yeah, exactly right. It's such a huge part and like a really appealing piece that we obviously don't have much of an insight into because we think it's a waste of time. But I think like
but then I'll hear like the numbers on what they made out of the like ultimate, what do they call mystery packs, ultimate packs, whatever it's called, and it's just an obscene amount of money. Like it puts almost any game sales to shame. Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. And we see EA as this broken company that isn't releasing good games, and they just see dollar signs being printed in front of them by releasing 2K. Or not, no, 2K is published by 2K, obviously.
But yeah, I know what you mean, like,
Madden in football, soccer.
FC
Um,
soccer. I mean, they
FC.
made a huge amount of money on that college football game they released last year as well because they did super well. Like, there's obviously some big appealing parts of that business. They yeah, and also don't forget like they have Respawn in there as well and Dice and all that sort of stuff. Like the next Battlefield is like on that Venn diagram of bro gamer who plays Madden and then like a COD or a Battlefield is nearly a fucking circle, right? So it's like they do have two big franchises there, depending on how Battlefield 6 sort of.
And that Battlefield's looking good, man.
It looks very
Shame.
good, yeah. But in terms of like their originals program, like that's fucking gone. There's no way they're ever doing any more of those. Like, those have never been big sellers, and even the ones that do come out have never been like setting the world on fire. So those are going to get cut immediately. The other big thing is The Sims. That's always been a huge money maker for them. Very, very appealing.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
There's been a lot of talk around the Saudi Arabia kind of let's say human rights issues in that area, and especially like The Sims especially has been a big proponent for the LGBTQ sort of group, and like is that going to change? Again, we don't know how much of this like Saudi Arabia ethics and morals and that sort of stuff is going to change.
I don't think any, honestly.
Probably not. Like realistically, probably not. Because if it makes
Saudi
money,
Arabia has been on a tear. What they're doing is reputation laundering.
Exactly.
They have been trying to be like, hey, look how cool we are. We have this comedy festival. We have these WWE events. Check us out. It's so cool. But if you're a woman, make sure you're covered head to toe. But come on and have some fun. And I don't think Saudi Arabia is financially, yes, they'll have their fingers and everything, trying to make as much money as possible. But when it comes to things like The Sims and representation, diversity, things like that, I don't think Saudi Arabia is going to push hard to change much of that.
Yeah.
I'm far more worried about the Kushner side of it.
There is that
That
too.
is a huge red flag there. And I don't know. That's things are dire here in America right now. So culturally, so I'm far more worried about that side of it.
Yeah, definitely agree. And I think that there is also the other element of there's been a lot of talk around like how they're going to make money off of this, and there's been a lot of talk about AI, and so I think like layoffs and all that kind of stuff, like those are coming very, very soon.
100%.
Andrew Wilson has come out and said there's going to be no immediate changes, but immediate could mean over the next month. Like after that, again, this deal isn't happening until 2027, right? So
I did see that somebody said that EA is going to become an AI first company, and I'm like, I could see that.
Yeah.
EA would.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So
they would.
I don't know. Any sort of closing thoughts? I don't think there's much. Like again, we'll see how this kind of churns out for the rest of EA. I have been seeing that meme of the meme of EA is the Grim Reaper knocking on the doors and killing all the studios.
Yep.
It's now just EA knocking on their own door, because I think this is it for them really.
Yeah.
They're either going to go under, or it's going to change them in a way that makes them fundamentally just not part of this gaming sphere that we're a part of.
You know what's funny to always think about? What's always funny to think about with the EA is that they behave like such an like a quintessential stereotypical American capitalist company, and then I always remember they're Canadian.
Yeah, well, I mean, as Canadian as any kind of globalized company like that can be, right? But I know what you mean.
Yeah. I always forget. I'm like, yeah, man, they're over there, they're stationed in Silicon Valley, and they're actually stationed in Montreal. That's so funny to me. Anyway, that's just it means nothing, but I just always makes me chuckle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes, but I don't think any of us think it's going to be anything good is going to come out of this.
Nope.
The best thing that could possibly happen is I think to your point there, Jake, is that maybe they start selling off some of those franchises, to the ones that they have there. I don't think are profitable off to other developers or something. I don't know.
Who did EA do? Overlord. Did they publish Overlord?
Yeah, they did.
Imagine that coming back. They sell out the Overlord IP.
I mean, there was one on Xbox One.
Oh yeah.
Yes, terrible.
Yeah, it
was
real bad.
You were. Yeah.
Yeah. But
what I was gonna say was like fast forward 10 years and we'll see EA's gone. It's been gone for a couple of years, and all of a sudden, oh, it's back, and they've kind of like what's the company
THQ and Atari.
THQ and Atari. Yeah. And then they'll have all their franchises and stuff, and they'll come
THQ
back from the
Nordic,
ashes, and we'll be like, oh, well, we're all working in the salt mines. We don't have time to play video games anymore.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, we working on the Microsoft Asteroid.
Yep. We're on the moon.
Oh Christ.
Wayland Yutani.
I just finished watching Alien Earth. Well recommended.
We just did Alien Romulus in lead up to watch Alien Earth. So
I liked Alien Romulus for the most part as well.
I did like that.
Very good.
Yeah.
We're all just gonna be whalers on the moon.
Cameron's gonna be upset.
Name that
one.
reference. Yeah, name that reference.
First episode of Futurama. Love it.
Yeah, there we go.
Was it the second episode? I can't remember. It was very early.
It was an early episode. I think it was the second episode.
All right. And then just one quick news story.
This is a happy one, yeah?
Yeah, we're all very excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake coming to Xbox. Looking like it's going to be early next year. Right. I think they got the announcement for January. So January next year. So probably a day one for me because I do definitely want to play it. I've been sad that I've been missing it all these years. Apparently, they're going to add a new streamlined progression feature, which is going to come out on the Xbox and I think on the Switch too. And I think we were talking about the Square Enix's kind of on-off love affair with Sony and not. I think that realistically they're like, oh, hey, it's coming to Switch 2. We want to get the new one out. Here, give people this game, but give them a way to complete it really, really fast. Because a lot of people are going to be like, I can't buy Rebirth. I have to buy Remake first and play through that, obviously. Otherwise, I won't understand what's going on. So they've got a streamlined progression system that allows you to apparently beat the game in about 10 hours as opposed to sort of 40 to 50 hours. So,
interesting.
Yeah, interesting kind of idea. So it's got things like it's like they've done with the remakes or the remasters of the old ones. They've had like constant max HP, constant max MP, limit gauge always full, ATB gauge always full. They're basically just like cheats essentially. Easy weapon ability acquisition, constant max gil, constant recovery items. So you basically just be able to breeze through the game. Wonder how achievements going to work.
Yeah.
But
well, the other ones didn't ever disable achievements, right?
No, they didn't. Yeah, they've been usually pretty good about that. Yeah.
Bro, just watch a cutscene movie at that point. If you want to know what's gonna happen,
that won't give me achievements.
Wow. Listen, no, we are an afterthought to developers everywhere. Okay.
Yeah. To be fair though, we do have to finish the game on hard as well. So we also don't know if that's going to be allowed for that or if it's only on lower difficulty. So we'll hear more about it. But it's kind of interesting. I think that as they bring these things across,
for sure. It's a cool idea, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like making it like a streamlined progression. So I get it. Like I think that it's funny because like those old games have those like XP boosters and stuff because they realize that gamers like the way people play games and people appreciate games is different to how they used to, and now people just the thing that most people have a lack of these days is time. And yeah, sure, like I've heard of people watching anime at like 1.5 speed to get through it faster, and I've always been like, geez, that's crazy.
Madness.
But like, I can get it when you're talking about something that's going to be like a 100-hour game to be like, yeah, we'll just cut out some of the bullshit. Now, my argument has always been, well, the bullshit shouldn't have been there in the first place. But I understand that there's an expectation of someone playing a Final Fantasy game, finishing it in 10 hours normally and being like, where the fuck is my Final Fantasy? What the fuck is this? But yeah, really curious to see how this goes down. But
yeah, I wonder if they'll put it on the PlayStation versions to maybe like update or something.
I think so.
I would be shocked if they didn't. I mean, I'll be playing it. I'm torn on what console, to be completely honest with you, which I know is like weird, the first world problem. What console do I play my new game on when I have all of them? I kind of interestingly, I those who listen who've caught the episodes I'm in probably would know that I'm sort of shifting to a PlayStation first approach with things, mostly because I prefer the collecting experience. I like the physicals on the shelf better, which is like a really it's a really weird specific thing. Like that, if Microsoft's boxes just looked better and kept spine art, maybe I wouldn't have. But PS5
all my
cases,
Fantasies, they're all physical PlayStation.
All gray.
Yeah. Yeah, nope.
All gray and
PlayStation
green.
kept unique spine arts with like the normal DVD case size, and so it's just a significantly better collecting experience. So that's a big reason. But another reason, and the reason I bought my PlayStation 5, the thing that broke the camel's back was Final Fantasy 16, since that was. I mean, I was pretty sure that was going to be a timed exclusive, not like a full exclusive, but still, I was just like, I don't want to wait. I want to play it.
It's a long wait.
Yeah, and I was like, no, they'll bring Final Fantasy Remake to Xbox eventually. And another reason I started switching to, like, I had my PS5, but I was still Xbox first. But anyway, I was like, they'll bring it to Xbox eventually. And the reason I kind of recently have swapped to PS5 first is, I mean, a non-zero reason was I was like, they're never bringing a remake over to Xbox. Like, if I want to experience this trilogy, I have to be a PlayStation gamer. And I already like collecting more, so whatever. And then they announced it's coming to Xbox, and most of my Final Fantasy completions are on Xbox. And my other thing is like, well, do I just keep completing them on Xbox? Because I have literally Final Fantasy 1 through 6, 7, 8, 13 to 15, 13 and 13 to 15, all finish on Xbox. I'm like, do I just stay on Xbox and like continue my Final Fantasy series completion journey on Xbox? I know that's like a really weird, very specific problem to have, but that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I have exactly the same problem, and I have most of them on PlayStation and most of them on Xbox because I've got physical and then digital Xbox. So,
yeah.
Yep, and the PS Vita, like just like whatever's available. So
yeah.
We're missing Dissidia though, so if this brings
every
Dissidia
time
back,
you bring up Dissidia,
every time I have to bring it up.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
I
that's
haven't
so
got a
funny.
physical copy of the PS4 Dissidia sitting back on my shelf, actually, funny enough.
Yeah, I'll will it into existence.
Yeah.
This is where it came from. So,
yeah. But I'm with you though. I've been thinking about going back because like the Pixel remasters, I've got them there, and I do want to play them at some stage. And like I did 7, I did 8, I did 9, I've done most of 10 and 10-2. I need to do that last couple of achievements. Obviously can't do 11 anymore.
What?
Probably will do 12. I've done 13, 1, 2, and 3, parts 1, 2, and 3, and I've done most of 15. So like, and I just finished 16, so I'm well on my way to getting them all done. But
Yeah. What might honestly be a factor I should consider is how impactful is the DualSense on the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because the DualSense is like the Xbox Series X controller is the most comfortable controller for sure. Like I use it for PC stuff and I like it. It's just the best controller for sure. But the DualSense is the coolest controller. When they like take advantage of the actual like adaptive triggers and like the HD rumble and stuff, and the lights on it, it is the coolest controller to use for sure.
yeah, I agree. It's like so many PlayStation features go the wayside and they just stop using features. But the DualSense controller is pretty consistent. Like companies are actually doing stuff with it instead of not doing things with it, like the PlayStation camera and the the old wands you got with the the
PlayStation
Move. Yeah, so
the only game to play on the PlayStation Move was it Hans Sebastian's Joust or whatever that thing was, where it was like you had to hold the thing and you had to make sure you didn't tip it over too much and you had to push people. Anyway, that's a.
I love the original one of the original games that came out, and you basically were rolling a guy down a hill in a trolley.
Oh, amazing!
It's fantastic. So.
Remember that era of games where everything was motion controlled? That was fucking crazy.
Yeah, the Wii was the king, successful, and then everyone was like, "We got to copy that." And then they tried, and they were just like, "This, we'll just keep letting Nintendo do their thing." Actually, I think
I miss Kinect.
Yeah, it's like let's use the Kinect for like medical shit instead. That's way much better.
Oh man.
There's a PC game. Space Organ Trading Simulator.
Yes,
I think
does use the
there's
Kinect, yes,
it has the Kinect on PC for some fucking reason.
Oh man,
Fantastic. Yeah. So good.
All right. Well, that's the news pretty much. I'll quickly go through the Game Pass updates. There's really not a lot outside of the obviously big change that happened. So like 93 games are getting added. Most of that is like Ubisoft stuff. Almost all of it is actually Ubisoft stuff. I'm just kind of looking at the ultimate list now. Obviously,
Weirdly, Hogwarts Legacy.
yeah, and Hogwarts Legacy for some reason has just been added, just thrown in there for some reason. So it's
That might actually get them a good few sales.
yeah, I guess so. And then they've kind of outlined what's on premium as well. So like a lot of stuff that was only PC or was Ultimate is now moving to premium as they kind of mix this up a little bit. Essentials is getting a few new games as well. So we'll see how this shakes out. I'm not going to read through the whole list because it's a waste of time, but go check it out if you are thinking about moving between the tiers and trying to figure out what you get. I'm hoping that we get some nice good lists on TA that show us exactly where things are sitting, because right now it's still a bit of a mess as this changeover doesn't really happen until November technically. But we do have a few things leaving. On the 15th, we have Cocoon Core Keeper, which has a stack on Windows, Donut County, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed, which I'll talk about shortly. If you're going to play anything on there, play Cocoon. It's almost a must play in my book. I really fucking love that game.
I would make an argument also to just do Donut County if you haven't, because it's short and fun. Like it's just a fun, cute little game that'll take you 2 hours, and there's no reason not to do it. It's
got a very like Katamari type vibe to it, which is very fun and like irreverent.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
And then we'll have an update probably next week of the stuff that's coming over the next few weeks for October. I think the only thing is that Sopa game, the potato one? I think is the Sopa's Tale of the Stolen Potato. I think is coming out later this week, but that's pretty much it. All right, patreon.com/HallofGamers if you want to help support the show. Our Patreon basically helps pay for the most part, just pays for keeping the show hosted, because that comes out of my bank account. So a huge thank you to Old Mate Clown, Cavalier07, Hack and Pone, Kung Fu Skills, Happy Moogles, Admiral Awesome, Natolinator, Lee Howard, Left Legacy, and Venom's AU. We literally couldn't afford to do the show without you guys, so thank you so much for your support. Any extra stuff that we do, sort of behind the scenes recording stuff or extra shows that we do, we throw up on Patreon, available to anyone at any tier as long as it's like $2 upwards, I think. So if you want to help support the show, thank you so much. I know we haven't done much in that space lately because we've just been busy with like Cameron's wedding and travel and things like that, but we're hoping to knuckle down a bit more and do a bit more of that in the future. So if you want to check out, also some of the old back catalogue is on there, so if you want to join for free and check out some of the old episodes of Lights, Camera, and Action where we talk about video game movies, check that out as well.
And getting everyone available on the same day, like now I have Sundays, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
everyone is going to tee up.
Yes, we need to try. So maybe Sundays is the day to do it.
Yeah.
Monthly theme. Keo, do you want to read through that?
Yeah, so we have the bimestral burdens every 2 months. We have themes. So September and October are creature feature. So going into October, play games where your main game is a non-humanoid. So we're looking at your creepy crawlies for the month of October. That'd be something to look at.
Yeah.
So,
Does the Doomslayer count as a creepy
He
crawly
does not.
creature?
He's very explicitly a human. That is a big part of
Some
his
might
lore.
call him a creature. Or a monster of sorts.
yeah, well, I mean, going by the old rules, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles wouldn't have counted either.
But they do now. So, let's get into what we've been playing. Keo, let's start with you. You've got a few things.
I have a few things, I'm pretty much just going to start straight away the Monster Hunter stuff.
Sure.
So, I have been working again on Monster Hunter World. I'm at the next milestone, I guess you could say. So I'm like rank 93 in my master rank. So at 100, I'll be able to do Ruiner near Gigante, and that will close off, I think, the maximum cap for the final end of the game. But it will give me access to the weapons because I need his bits to actually make my final weapon, to make the Ruiner Steps Decimation. So I've finally got all of my armor that I want. So I needed the Gold Rathian, 2 pieces from that, and that's completed all the armor I want for the game.
Wow.
So so I have all of that. Now I just need the weapon. Because there's some augmenting of the upgrades and stuff like that you can't do until you get to that level 100 as well. And that's like opening the cap of the maximum rank of the armor as well to go even further, and then like apply stats to it. So I'm there with that one. So that's really, really good. I'm really happy about that. Once I've got like everything, I'm like, yeah, everybody join me, and I'll just run you through stuff, right?
Hell
So
yeah.
because I've been pretty quiet about it up to this point, but I'm at the point where the other day I put on the last piece of armor and I was blitzing in 20 minutes. The like basically an electric hell at the end. Like the one of the monsters. Why am I blanking on his name? Zig. Z. Zig. I can't remember.
Zigzagoon.
He's like, yeah. You guys, Jake, you'd know the name of
I
it.
actually don't think I know. I don't. I haven't done. I'm so behind on worlds. I
Yeah,
literally only
I know.
recently beat high rank,
Yeah.
so I
Yes.
don't never
Okay.
even played
Yeah. Yeah.
Iceborne.
Yeah. I was wondering how many of those monsters actually go over into wilds. I actually don't know. Um, but yeah. So and I'm just blitzing some of these monsters now, and it's like end game stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm
the
really
only lightning monster fucker in Wilds is Ray Dow, who can eat
yeah.
it,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
eat a
What's the
massive
I don't even
bag,
know. Yeah. I'm trying to
one-shotting
the
motherfucker.
name of them now. Yeah. World like monster monster. Just trying to find it. But anyway, moving on from that, Monster Hunter Wilds. I started that this week, and
It's great.
yeah,
That needs to come
it
to
is
Game Pass. I'd play
so
that. That sounds like you
I
guys
dumped.
seem to have a lot of fun with it.
I've done
Xenograin.
probably
That's the
130
one.
hours
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Wilds, and I still go
yeah.
back for events. I need to go do the Omega fight. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
games
Well, that's why I started it this week.
justice.
So Xenogray is the monster that I was talking about. And it's like an electric four-legged beast. So with Wilds, I of course chose dual blades again, right? So because I absolutely love the dual blades. But I know that there's a difference in the buttons you had to press to do certain moves. And typically I'd just mash B and then kind of like in demon mode, which is like your super hyped up mode, and then do a couple of things and then sling off the monster and then keep mashing B again because there's a way you can just keep that flowing. And you can keep that flowing when your energy runs out, even if it's at zero, you can keep it going, which is really good. So if you're in like a flow and you can dodge well enough, coming off the monster, then you can not get hit. So, which has been really good. But the change there is instead of pressing Y to kind of grapple the enemy, you have to press LT and then RB, I think, to do the same thing. But I think I've worked out the flow for that too. So I think I'm going to pick this game up really, really well. So,
I did the dual blades in Wilds, and yeah, they're so sick. They make me want to go back and get back into World and pick up dual blades in World. I know they're different in World a little bit. I know they're probably harder because I think everything in World is harder. Wild is
yes.
ultimately all easier. But I currently play the great sword in World, and I'm sick of just like 10% of my hits hitting. Like when they hit, they
Yeah.
hit for like you're smacking for 1,000 damage. So when they hit,
Yes.
they hit.
But,
But I'm so sick of just like, all right, charge up, and the monster moved. All right, charge up, and the monster moved.
yeah, I can't stand that at all. I've just like, no, I have to be fast, and this is the only thing
Yeah.
that's going to do it. I know I did just get up to like one of the. I've got the hub world opened up, and I've just gone into like the second, like place you visit, but I'm just still roaming that first area. So I really find that everything's so much smoother. It's so much better being able to grapple resources just while you're on the back of the Singret. I think it is.
Sacred. Yep.
Sacred. Yeah, it's like basically the chocobo of the Monster Hunter
Right.
world, pretty much. And yeah, you can just roll around and just kind of pick things up while the characters are talking. So you'd think like Red Dead Redemption, where you're just following a character on a horse, but actually being able to do something while that's happening. So yeah, the quality of life is so much better. I think if you're doing Monster Hunter Wilds, you'll easily be able to go back and do some stuff in World and just learn it. That you'll have a better understanding. But coming from Worlds, you have a better appreciation, I think, of what you get from that game. So
Sure.
yeah,
I will say the mechanic, because I don't think this is a mechanic in Worlds. I don't think the perfect dodge buffs you in Worlds like it does in Wilds for the dual blades. I don't know if you've stumbled into that yet, but if you dodge within a frame window, a small frame window, a monster's attack, you'll do like this spirally spin, and that'll give you a 15-second buff to all of your attacks. So you want to be doing that as much as you can. I will say, I believe dumping 130 hours into dual blades in Monster Hunter Wilds has made me a significantly better Soulsborne player.
Yeah, I bet. I fucking
nice.
bet. That last
Has
bit of
made
dodge
me-
shit, yeah.
Yeah, what I have noticed to be a significantly, I had almost no problem with
Yep.
Liza P, and as we'll talk about it when I get into what I've been playing, but
Good.
I
Yeah.
one-shotted Melania and promptly ran to Discord to
Yep.
shout
Yeah.
my feet.
Yeah. For context there, like the dual blades has no like block out basically. You can't do anything. You
Yeah.
have to get out of the way to do any with that. So yeah.
Yep, and then Wilds rewards you for doing it at the last second.
There is a like a charm that you can put on, I think, that gives you some of that kind of stuff in Worlds. But I don't think it's prevalent. Like I haven't even bothered with it. So because it relies on, you know, those tougher blocking and
Anything else, Kier?
yeah. I'll just quickly touch on. I've just been doing this Serious Sam trilogy, on the Xbox 360. Basically, just going through knocking out the multiplayer in that. But I did an entire run of Serious Sam, the first encounter, like the whole campaign, just in a night with Death Jester, and yeah, it was really good. It was because it's called the achievement called Serious Co-op. It's complete the co-op game on serious difficulty with extra enemy at 400%.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
basically, you just hit the wall every single area you go to, but infinite ammo, which is really good, and you just respawn and respawn and respawn, and you just get through it eventually. We just smashed that the other night. Now we just have to do Serious Sam 2's Serious Co-op, which is a lot less forgiving because you have to play in one hit in coin co-op mode, but it's not... Coin co-op being the key is like you have limited lives.
Right, okay.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it for me.
Okay.
So,
I did that first game.
yeah, nice.
I did the third game. It was one of those
Yeah.
ones that had my 360 for a long time, non-backwards compatible, and I was like, fuck, I just need to knuckle down and do this. And I'll be honest, it was a fucking slog. Those games, yeah. Those games are meant to be played in co-op with unlimited ammo, just blowing things up every 5 seconds, not playing super carefully, saving every 2 seconds on hard mode with not unlimited ammo.
And you can't have unlimited ammo in that mode in the
Yeah.
second game. So it's
Fucking
gonna be
pain.
shit. But
Well, I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. I'll talk about a few games that I've been playing. So I going to my backlog, finishing up a few things. I did The Missing, JJ Macfield and the Island of Memories, which if you have no idea what that is, I'm not surprised. This is a sweary game. So it's weird. It is a side-scrolling platformer puzzler in the style of something maybe like Braid or something along those lines, where it's like very narrative focused, lots of interesting kind of mechanics and puzzles to figure out. The main thing being that you are basically you go onto an island with your girlfriend Emily, and you play as JJ, and you wake up in the middle of the night and she's gone missing, and so you have to go find her. And that involves getting struck by lightning and dying immediately, basically, coming back to life and realizing that you are essentially invulnerable. In the sort of never dead kind of way of you get hit by things, you'll lose limbs, you can regrow them, but sometimes you need to lose a limb to get through a small spot, or you need to use an arm to throw at something and that sort of stuff. And so like there's a thing where it's like if you get set on fire, you can be on fire and you can burn things, or they kind of switch up the mechanics. It's not a very long game. It's maybe like 6 hours for like one playthrough of it. Lots of collectibles, so you probably want to use a guide for that. But it's a pretty good chapter select. I won't touch on the story at all, but it is like, because it's quite short, it's told quite quickly, but it's an interesting kind of tale. You kind of read through like text messages from various people and you kind of discover what the narrative is about and kind of what's going on. Yeah, actually, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It is a relatively simple game. I was kind of hoping maybe for a little bit more for it, but I think it's good. Like, I think it's a kind of cool, smaller scale kind of game from, it's the guy who made Deadly Premonition, so you kind of know you're getting into some weirdness with that. But I
Yeah.
definitely recommend it. It's been on my list for a little while. I think it came out quite a few years ago now. But yeah, so I kind of enjoyed playing through that. It was on sale a few weeks back. I also picked up, what was it? I picked up Ubisoft Plus because I was like, well, time to get some more games done, some more DLCs come out. We've been working on the Division 2 DLC, so we finished the Warlords of New York last night. That was relatively straightforward, and now we're on to the Battle for Brooklyn, I think is the next one, so going to be doing some of that. I really enjoy the Division 2. It's a really like solid co-op game. It's not without its issues. I think that some of the enemies are just so damage spongy that it just becomes like a war of attrition and no real fun to do them. I think the mechanics just get kind of boring sometimes, but as like a fun co-op game where you kind of, just roll through a squad of enemies and just fuck everything up and you have cool abilities and stuff, I really like it. Great co-op game. Wouldn't be that much fun by yourself though. Also, with Ubisoft Plus, I did the Star Wars Outlaws DLCs for the second one, which has Hondo Ohnaka in it, who, if you're a big Star Wars fan, is a fan favorite, voiced by the guy who does Tigger. He's great. He's fantastic whenever he shows up in Star Wars lore. So they give him a fun little adventure where you meet him and you get captured and you meet him in prison. And you have to break out and get revenge on this pirate gang that's fucked with you, while also looking for some treasure. That was really fun. It's like 3 or 4 hours. There's not a huge amount involved. But again, I think Outlaws just kind of got better the more they added to it, the more they fixed it up. It's a bit of a shame that I'm sure this will probably be the end of it. I don't think they're going to do any more. I don't think they have any plans for any more DLC, and they're almost certainly not going to get a sequel because the game underperformed. But yeah, as someone who just loves Star Wars, I think just being able to get into that universe and getting to do the DiCaprio meme, it's pretty good about like Easter eggs. Like it doesn't be like, oh my god, it's the thing, but it's like, I kind of talked about it when I played it originally. I think it was earlier this year. But but things like, like some of the characters that you meet are some of like the extended universe characters who are important, and like, oh, that's cool. They've actually done their homework. Like it clearly is made by people who really, really love the Star Wars franchise. And then the last Ubisoft thing I've been working on is the Assassin's Creed Shadows DLC, which I've nearly done. It takes you out to an island, and it's kind of a little mini condensed adventure of like, hey, they've got one big bad Templar you need to take down there. They've got 3 lieutenants, and each of those lieutenants have like a sort of a quest to weaken them before you go after them. So one of them's like a big the big general guy, and so you got to kill all of his kind of subordinates, so that when you fight him, you're just fighting him one-on-one as opposed to like 13-on-1. One of them is like a trapper who does like like a shinobi like hide in the shadows thing, which has a really, really cool boss fight where you basically have to sneak around and try and figure out like there's a bunch of decoys and traps and everything, and you got to kind of do the Batman thing of like sneaking around, trying to sneak up behind them, trying to figure out who the right one is and get in them. And then the last one is like a spy master, kind of like work out clues and do like social deduction and that kind of stuff. So it's a nice microcosm of what the actual base game was like. And it's the kind of thing where I'm like, I'm having a good time here because there's stuff where it's like, oh, you have to play as Naoe for this part. You have to play as Yasuke for this part. It doesn't just feel like, oh, we don't really know where you're up to in the story. It's like, no, like Naoe needs help, so you need to play as Yasuke for this bit. And I was like, if the game had been more like this, I would have been much more on board than like the 6 out of 10 that it was originally. I think
a lot of people would agree with you.
Yeah, I was like, this is really cool. Like, I like this kind of like more narrative kind of experience, more sort of like not as open. Like, it is an open world, but it's a small island. You don't feel like you're overwhelmed with like icons and shit. There's only a few little like temples and things to do. There's like 2 castles on the entire island, so it's like a new zone. So I'm getting towards the end. I've beaten the 3 generals, and now I have to kind of do the like weakening before the big fight at the end. But yeah, really, really enjoying it. They give you a bow staff as a new weapon. They unlock a few new abilities as well. The bow staff is fucking awesome to use. You can do like a shadow step thing, which is like a classic D&D where you're just like zipping between enemies and just beating the shit out of them with a stick. It's really, really satisfying. So yeah, enjoying it. I'm less looking forward to having to do a whole New Game Plus playthrough to get to level 80 and knowledge level 10 and all that shit. Really just feels like they're taking the piss of like, oh, well, people didn't play this game for long enough, so let's add another 40 to 50 hours on top of that. So we'll see if I get around to doing that. I don't know if they're going to do
Yeah.
more DLC for this. Apparently, the game did sell well, so I guess we'll see more of it probably in the future. You know, I don't know if it's going to do like Valhalla numbers because I think it was a little below that, but it does sound like they're probably going to support it for a little while. But they also Ubisoft also are in a weird spot right now, and also doing a bunch of other Assassin's Creed stuff with like Jade and like the Infinity thing. And again, I don't really know what they've got going on in Assassin's Creed headquarters right now because it's kind of weird. There's that rumor of them doing Assassin's Creed 4 again, but with these kinds of mechanics, which I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. But yeah, so a lot happening on the Ubisoft front. One other quick ones, I'll talk about TMNT because I promised I'd talk about that. Game Pass leaving, it's bad. It's actually just bad. It's
I know.
It's not. Yeah,
Yep.
it's not a good game. I said this when I posted the completion. It is a masterclass in making a game that should be like 4 hours into 12 and making it feel like 100.
Yeah.
It's just the same environments over and over again, the same combat, same types of enemies. The combat is not very well balanced, so like you'll just get bodied by enemies sometimes. They add combos and stuff. They don't really seem to do much more damage or much, like doesn't seem to be a huge incentive to use them. The like special abilities kind of suck. The story goes on for way too long. It feels like a whole season of a TV show. I don't know. Like I was enjoying this stuff up front, but as I got like 4 or 5 hours in, I was just starting to skip things because I was like, I'm not invested in this, and it's just a real slog to play through.
Yeah, it's something that I'm going to play only because I don't want to pay for this one.
Yeah, yeah, I
So-
would. Yeah, it's a weird game though. It has a day-night cycle and like a timing mechanic thing, like Persona for some reason. Like you have like social links and stuff. It feels like, I don't know, it's so strange. It has like bits of an interesting kind of game feel like they just kind of bolted onto it because they were like, oh, it's like, oh, well, we made a 3 hour, like 3D brawler. It's like, well, we need it to be 12 hours, so you need to be tacking some other stuff on. We need to have a lot of cutscenes, a lot of dialogue, a lot of jokes, but you also need to be like, each of the turtles has to team up with like a person in the real world to make friends with them to learn about I don't know. It's fucking bad.
I saw those achievements and I was like, who are these people?
Yeah, exactly. It's very straightforward. Like definitely use a collectible guide because the collectibles are very missable because you can't go back to levels, or you'll go back to maps sometimes, but there's no way to like do a level select or anything. So definitely use a collectible guide for that. But otherwise, yeah, it's just so samey. Yeah, just really, really unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
And then the last one, Cameron wanted to talk about this, but obviously he's not on this week. But Karma: The Dark World. So this came out earlier in September. It's from a small studio. I think it might be one of their first games. It's relatively new. I think they're. I'll double check the stats for this just so I get it right. So it's from so this is Wired Productions are publishing this, which is cool. It was interesting. I didn't know that Wired was even publishing games, but they've done a few. And so this is from Pollard Studio. It's a walking sim puzzler kind of thing where it's like a very, very narrative focused 1980, very heavily 1984 inspired. You're you're basically part of the thought police, and you're basically trying to solve a crime, and you just kind of things spiral out of control as you solve one crime and it leads to unveiling a whole raft of things happening at an institute that are hugely fucked up.
It's weird.
It's a very weird game. I liked it a lot. But I was like, it took me about 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours. It was really cool, but by the time I got to the end of it, I was kind of confused. Like again, it was like 2 a.m. when I finished it, so I might have just been that like I was kind of fried and wasn't really picking up what they were putting down. But it is very much like, hey, you're going into people's brains and seeing their memories and like trying to understand like what makes a person, and like they find some. Anyway, I don't want to spoil anything because it is obviously the narrative is the big piece of it. There's a little bit of puzzly stuff in there and that kind of stuff, and there's a little bit of the like, oh, you have to run away from a scary monster for a little bit, you know? So
I had no idea what was going on with this game when I was watching Cameron, and that explanation actually makes me understand it a little bit.
Yeah. So it's definitely like diving into people's minds kind of thing, which again is something we've seen before. But yeah, to say this thing's 1984 inspired is like there are literal copies of 1984 littered around that you use for a puzzle, for example. So like they know this is no big surprise. Like it's very much like an homage to that kind of like dystopian future set in like 1970s. Yeah, I think it's really good. I like it a lot. It's got some technical issues, there's some stuttering and some like stuff loaded in. I had a couple of crashes, so that's kind of really the only black mark against it, unfortunately. But it doesn't take too long. It's all like voice acted pretty well, and I was definitely invested in it pretty much all the way through. So definitely check it out, especially if it's on a sale. I think it'd be a really good one to check out. Yeah, I'm trying to say, was Pod Studio done anything else? I think this is the only game on Xbox at the moment. So yeah. But anyway, that's me. I've just been kind of like working on as much stuff as I can, trying to get a few games completed. I'm looking for my next big project because I'll be done with, probably Assassin's Creed and hopefully Octopath relatively soon. So teeing up what's next to grab my interest. Jake, what about you? What have you been working on?
Yeah, not a ton, but what I have been working on has been pretty beefy, substantial stuff. So I think last time I was playing Elden Ring or starting Elden Ring, one of the two. But I think I was playing in the middle of playing it. But I finished Elden Ring. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about Elden Ring that hasn't been said. I'm sure it's been said on this podcast because I'm sure people on here, I know people on here have played it. It was Neo's Game of the Year, Matt's Game of the Year. Yeah, it's a fantastic, phenomenal game. I did an all bosses, all quests, all spells, all pretty much 100% of everything that you didn't have to grind for. So I found all the graces, did all the quests, did all the bosses, all the talismans, and got all the items and all the upgrades and stuff that were stuff I didn't have to get enemy drops from because I wasn't going to grind the enemies. I did it in a little over 80 hours. I think I did 81, which I was super happy with because I think the completion for that is 80 to 100, and that's not doing everything. That's not all bosses. Like, you don't need to fight every boss and find every grace and do every quest to 100% Elden Ring. Not even close. God, yeah. Yeah, no, phenomenal game. I was a intelligence dex build. I thought about respeccing into, and that was the first time. Noteworthy. This is the first time in any Souls game that I've done a dex build. I've done intelligence builds before. I've done strength builds before.
Why would you do that?
Intelligence builds or dex?
Oh, dex builds.
Dex builds. That's an interesting pick.
Dex build because I don't know. I wanted to. Everyone said the samurai was really good, fun starting class, and people like katanas and bleed and stuff. And I was like, that sounds fun. And I picked the Dex Intelligence because I like intelligence classes. I like being a mage class. And I know it's always nice to have a range attack to fall back on, and intelligence usually does that. And the existence of Moonveil exists, which is a Dex Intelligence scaling katana. So it's perfect for like a samurai Dexy build that also lets you spec good into int and get some cool spells. But I was not tanky. I didn't have a shield. By the end of the game I was running 2 katanas. I was running Moonveil and Uchigatana with magic enchant on it. I did frost for a while, and then towards the late game things start becoming pretty much immune to frost build up. So you just might as well pop off it and go to like magic since you're doing it in build. So I didn't have a shield. I couldn't equip super high load, so I was using like the Ronin armor. And this kind of comes back into what I was talking about with Wilds, where my dual class blade is they reward you for dodging and dodging well. And I think that translated really well to playing a Dex build. And I don't think I gave the exact reason. I wanted to do a Dex. Int because I've done it before. Dex because I've never done it before. But I know they can be very, very good. I know often the people who are the best at these games are not playing strength builds. They're playing Dex builds. Because often it's, if you just know how to dodge, that's often don't get hit is a better strat than
block,
than put
tank,
block, tank, and hit back. Don't get hit is the best strat in FromSoft games. It just is. And the only way you're going to force yourself to do the don't get hit strategy is by playing a shieldless Dex build. So I kind of wanted to challenge myself with it. I felt I was coming off of the plat for Night Rain this summer and Liza P this summer. So I was feeling pretty good about my abilities and again my Wilds experience. So yeah, I rolled Dex and it went phenomenally well. I mean, I was very leveled because I was doing everything obviously. So I never there's not in a single area I would approach on under leveled. But because of my build, some of the in-game boss, I mean, I was 2 hit by in-game bosses. So I really did have to get good at don't get hit. If you get hit once, you heal because another hit is you're dead. Just full stop. So that was an interesting experience. But like I said earlier in the pod, though, I was able to no-hit Melania, which is... or not no-hit, sorry. I did definitely take some hits. I was able to one-shot Melania. I did Melania on my first try. If you don't know anything about Elden Ring and Melania, what rock are you living under so we can get you out of it? But Melania is notably the hardest boss in the game, or at least in vanilla. Now it's probably Promise Consort Radon from Shadow of the Erd Tree. But Melania comes with a huge warning label of don't get angry, have patience. This could take you hours to days. I've watched people try Melania on stream for several streams in a row before they finally got her. Granted, they were doing some self-imposed challenge stuff, so they weren't using Spirit Ashes. But even with Spirit Ashes, I've seen Melania take 50 plus attempts. So I was like, all right, we're gonna. So I was like, all right, we're gonna be here for a while. I don't think I'm just like naturally gifted though, by any means. I don't think I'm just like all of a sudden a fucking cracked at Souls games because of my Liza P, Night Rain, and yada yada. You know, I think that's a load of shit. I got hit by Waterfowl. I think the biggest attack I got hit by was the Waterfowl. I think that's the only attack I got hit by. It was Waterfowl. Yeah. But I got hit only just barely enough to not die. Like I only got hit by like twice, so I didn't die and she didn't get a bunch of health back, which was great. But no, I don't think I'm just some gifted savant at Elden Ring all of a sudden. I think I have seen that fight so many times, not from like watching guides, but watching friends stream it. Like I watched my friend stream that fight for probably a combined total of like 10 hours till he got it.
I mean, it's infamous, right?
It is so infamous. I've seen YouTube videos of speedrunners playing through it. I knew that fight going in before even doing it. So it felt like I knew the patterns. I knew all the patterns. I knew when she was going to waterfowl dance, so run the fuck away. I knew what all the tells were, so I knew what direction to dodge into and where to roll and what my openings were. And yeah, so I think it was just the fact that, like, I mean, because the thing is even if you get her done phase 1, you know, most people, if you don't know what you're going up against, you're going to die at the start of phase 2 because of just what she does. But I knew it was coming, so I was able to not get hit by the start of phase 2. And yeah, I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I just first tried Millennia. That was sick. Notably, the Elden Beast took me like 4 attempts. So not considered the hardest boss in the game, but
that boss is a pain in the ass, though, to be fair. There's a lot of shit in that boss. You're just like, that ring thing, yeah. Just like, for fuck's sake.
Dude, I know. There were so many times where I was fighting the Elden Beast, and I was just like, are you done? Like, is it my turn yet? Like, it'll do a giant nuke range attack that'll one-shot you, and then it'll have the audacity to fly across the map. So you have to run to that. And as you're doing that, it's slashing its sword at you and shooting a Kamehameha wave at you. So you're just like, when is it my turn to hit you? You spend half that fight chasing the thing down. But yeah, got it. Cheesed the 3 endings. Yeah, phenomenal game.
For context there, I was just looking at my completion for it. I finished it in 42 hours, so it's definitely doable in under 50 if you're just kind of mainlining it for the most part. I mean, I faffed around a little bit. You could probably do it even quicker than that if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, 81 hours is not indicative of... I mean, that's what the TA estimate is. I don't know why. Maybe that's just like casual playthrough, or maybe more people are going for 100% too. But if you're trying to get everything, you figure 80 to 100 if you're trying to just get what is strictly necessary. That being said, if you're going for what's strictly necessary, you might have a more difficult time. because you won't have all the XP from doing every single boss in the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, finished Elden Ring, fantastic, and then I went into I guess part of my little play game from every year accordion style thing. I did Contra, but there's not much to say about Contra. It's Contra. It's a classic NES title, but there's also not much to talk about my experience because, like, full disclosure, for those NES games, I don't want to spend too much time on them. I have limited time. I use save states. I use. I give it a good college try for a while, and then I go, all right, how can there's like retro achievements is like, beat the whole game with the pistol, beat the whole first stage with only pressing left, or like do dumb shit like that. Dude, I go and load the cheat file and look what they have and just chuck on what sounds fun. Oh, infinite jump? Sure, let's do it. Oh, everything dies in one hit? Yeah, why not? Like, whatever. Yeah. I just kind of have fun with those and knock them out in like an hour or something like that. I kind of look at it like a modern arcade release today. When they get official releases, they're always super slow completions, even though they're brutally difficult games, because they always have
save some rewinds and infinite lives and shit. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So I kind of just go look at my retro achievement hunting games as just like, oh, I'm just doing what it would be on the modern release or whatever. Yeah, so smashed that out, and then I jumped into Returnal on PS5. I got that finished actually today. And I couldn't tell you the story of that game. It's intentionally cryptic. It's one of those weird, like, open-ended stories that you have to really dig into the logs in the game to really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably something cool there, but I think I just don't think I cared about what the story they had to tell was. Like, I don't know, something related to like motherhood trauma or something. Like, this character had a bad relationship with their mom, and like, I think maybe they're just fighting their inner demons or something, and they're not actually trapped on this alien planet. Yeah. And it's so if you don't know what Returnal is, it is a third-person shooter roguelite, which is quite unique. I don't know how many of those there are out there, and if there are a ton now, I think Returnal was like a pretty early one. Like, that was a pretty ambitious thing to do for a roguelite. Yeah. Was a third-person shooter,
especially from Housemarque, like as a like a not a small indie studio. Well, I mean indie, but like, something that had quite a bit of pedigree behind it. To go like, yeah, we're gonna do just a weird bullet hell third-person shooter roguelite. Like, it's kind of a crazy out there kind of concept.
Yeah. But yeah, so in the whole game is you kind of finding audio logs you left yourself that, like, you're piecing together that you're stuck in this like time loop. But there's this weird like trauma of the character's real life, and so you're just kind of left thinking like, is this all real, or like, what is actually happening here? But I don't know, it just didn't grab me. Like, it didn't grab me enough to start asking those questions. It grabbed me enough to kind of ask some of these questions, like, what's actually happening here, but it didn't grab me enough to look for the answers.
Yeah. It's definitely a gameplay first kind of game, that one. So.
Yeah. But the gameplay loop is pretty good. It's your standard roguelite. The True Trophies and PSN profiles gave an estimate of 50 to 60 on True Trophies and 50 to 100 for the guide. And that's based on RNG and skill. I did it in just over 30. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just decent at roguelites. I play a lot of them. Yeah. I like the genre. I didn't find it very difficult. I was able to finish you can kind of level up all your weapons. Like, the roguelite aspect of it is the more you use weapons, you unlock permanent upgrades for them.
Yeah.
I didn't have to max out anything before I was able to complete an entire loop. And it's very generous. Once you beat the first 3 biomes, you permanently can start in the 4th biome. And there's 6 biomes.
Yeah, I think that wasn't originally in the base game, I think, when it first came out. I think they added that later because people were complaining.
They did add it.
They did make some... I think they did make some changes to make it like slightly more user-friendly.
Oh,
They
interesting.
Did,
I
they
wonder.
did. I played
know
it before
they-
those updates. Yeah.
I read that they made some of the collectibles more obvious, which was cool. But I didn't know about that change. I almost wish I would have played it the other way then.
Yeah.
Because I
might be
didn't
wrong,
feel
to be
like
fair. I do know they made some changes because there were a lot of complaints around some of the like checkpointing stuff or something. But
okay.
but I'll look it up.
'Cause
while
I
I'm
would-
talking, yeah.
Yeah, I felt that made it really trivial, really easy by just starting over at Biome 4. Story wise, it made sense why they would do that. They're kind of different time periods almost, but yeah, it maybe would have added some more stake to the run, and made it more because I think I'll just say, I think that game was praised highly. And people really love it. I thought it was pretty middling.
Sure.
I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think the thing that really changed it was that it was a bullet hell road. Like the roguelike doesn't give it justice enough. But like, because other games started adding bosses with the same mechanics after that.
Yeah.
So
That's the other thing. The bosses were pretty cool. You only have to fight them a single time. I wish they would have forced you to fight him every time. You only have to find him once, and then once you do that, you've unlocked a permanent way to go to the other biomes. You still have to go through the first biome to get to the exit to the second. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would have enjoyed the game. I think it would have been more high stakes and more interesting, intriguing to me if it was more difficult. So if they would have forced bosses on you, made you go through all 6 biomes every run, because the stakes just weren't there at that point. Because the hardest parts for every run were always the bosses, and they were pretty unique and cool fights. So maybe that changed. Maybe I would have liked the game more if I played it on release. In its current state, I thought it was fine. It was good. It's worth a play, especially if you can do it in under 35 hours. I don't think I would have wanted to do it for 50 to 60.
Sure.
And it did get really repetitive. I know that's like, it's roguelite, it kind of is, but like once you find your gun, there's not enough weapon variety that once you find the gun that works for you, you can reliably find it every single run. And you can use if you find a weapon that's higher level, because they kind of they get better as you go through your run. It's worth it to just keep the lower level gun that you're good with. I found this one gun that I could just it was GG's. If I would find it early enough, the run was over, and then I'd upgrade it as I found a different version of it, but I'd only be picking that same gun. I hit the last boss 3 times in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to see if I could. There's not like a challenge or a trophy or anything. I was just like, this gun's nuts, and I know this boss now. I fought it a few times. Let me see if I can no-hit it, and I did 3 times in a row. So I don't know, the repetitiveness and the sameness, and there's once you find what works for you, it's kind of GG. The game's solved at that point. Made it knocked down some points, and then the collectible grind sucked, because the collectible grind is just reloading the biomes over and over and over and running through them until you find the room you need, because that's where the collectible will be. That was obviously my last trophy. I don't know, to maybe. And I found most of them throughout the course of my playthrough, and then I probably collectible grinded for 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
Not terrible.
Sure.
Not terrible. Anyway, so yeah, that was Returnal.
Are you
yeah.
interested in the next one they're doing? Saros looks very sort of similar.
I am, because I don't regret my time with Returnal. It just wasn't as I didn't enjoy it as much as I was expecting to enjoy it because of the things I'd heard about it and my general affinity for the roguelite genre. But I am still excited for Soros, even though I'm kind of a very lukewarm on Returnal. And yeah, so I finished. I just got that plat today, and I started Doom Eternal. I'm an hour into Doom Eternal. I beat the first level. I have the multiplayer done already, which is great. So I just get to enjoy the game. I don't have to worry about grinding multiplayer. Pretty excited to actually finally get back to Doom Eternal. First level was, it's just metal music and ripping and tearing.
Yep.
And it's going to be another probably 15 to 20 hours of metal music and ripping and tearing. And that's all I want. That's all I could ask for.
Excellent. All right, Shane.
I don't game anymore. It's fine.
All right,
Never
it's
mind,
fine. All
skip
right,
me.
see you later then. That was episode 100.
I did Deus Ex. I did Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I started that finally.
What
I wanna
did
play
you think
forever.
of that game?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's Deus Ex. It's easy. Like, I don't know. I did my first playthrough. I went for the, what is it, Foxiest of Hounds and Pacifist first through, along with collecting all the ebooks and what are the achievements are there? And get all the augments or whatever. Get a bunch of augments. So I get all that. I have had very little issue with it. But
The key thing is that you upset Alex.
Yeah, Pluto was very upset that you.
yeah,
mentioned
I
it.
don't understand the joke behind that.
So Alex tried to get Foxy to the Hounds many times. I think he tried 3 times in a row and didn't manage to get it. Set off an alarm somewhere or something. He finally got it on his like 4th or 5th time. So every time someone plays Deus Ex, we give him a hard time about it. I think he was playing Human Revolution though, rather than Mankind Divided.
Which I also did, and was also easy. I was definitely really worried when I first started playing it, and all the way through, and I'm still playing it. The achievements don't pop right away a lot of the time. They're taking some 20 minutes to
Oh,
pop.
jeez.
So I'm having to have saves scattered through so I can go back and get them if need be, and I've had to a few times. So when I finished up, I was on pins and needles waiting for those achievements to pop. So I definitely was stressed out, but just I love stealth games. I'm so happy to be playing a stealth game again. I know you can run and gun it if you really want to, but man, even on hard, I could just be blown through these guys, invisible, run past them all because I'm on the permadeath mode currently.
Right.
And I'm taking my time, taking out every single guy I can, doing the side missions. I'm dare I say having fun.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Imagine
know, right?
playing games for fun.
Oh,
No.
don't worry. I'm gonna ruin it because I've got Garfield Lasagna Party sitting here waiting to play next. So can't
Amazing.
wait. But
In classic Shane Firehawk D style.
well, I've got so I let my GameFly run through. My notification didn't go off to tell me to stop it. So I've got another month. So I'll play more garbage
All right.
because I played the Smurfs last. So I've got this and a game called Troll and I. Or
Oh boy,
something like that.
you're in for a good time with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I heard. So, but other than that, that's all I've been playing. I mean, I just try to get an achievement a day and been playing that. I'm probably actually going to finish up the permadeath mode after we get finished up here. So,
Right.
and then I'll move to, I think what's called Breach, and then there's some DLCs
Breach
too.
is I fucking hated Breach, but
So what is Breach?
it's basically like VR missions or whatever. So like they put you into like a VR generated space and you have to kind of do they're like trial missions. Like, oh, hack
Okay.
this thing without detecting any enemies, and we kind of build a little map around, but it's all like white space and yeah.
I love VR missions. All the Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
1 and 2. I love VR
Yeah,
missions.
so
Yeah, so good luck.
Unironically.
I will report back if I like those or not.
Yeah,
So
that'd be
we'll see.
fine. I am sad that they're not doing another Deus Ex games. It really feels like they could have, they set up that
For now.
one day maybe.
I mean, the remaster's coming out.
That's true.
Of
That
the
is
first
true.
game.
I'm gonna buy
Very
that.
excited about that one.
I mean, if you're looking for a game for achievements, was it Deep Rock Galactic Survivors or whatever? Has like 300 achievements.
I think I've mentioned it before, but when I go to my friend's house for dinner sometimes, we'll all sit around and I'll just try games. So last night I did that. I played that Deep Rock Galactic game. I played Silent Hill F. I played what was the one you just talked about? Shoot.
Which one?
Oh, I'm brain fart. You were just
Troll and
talking
I?
about it. You were. No, not that one.
The Dark World one?
Matt was talking about it. No. Dang
Uh,
it. Anyway, I played some game called like Order of the Snake Scale, which was jank as can be.
Amazing.
Yeah, no. So I did try that Deep Rock Galactic game. That's got its hooks on me. I might look into that one.
300 achievements. You could string it along for a long time.
Yeah.
Is this different? Deep Rock? Maybe this might be the first time I'm hearing of Deep Rock Galactic Survivors.
Yeah, it's a Vampire
Yeah,
Survivors
it is.
spin-off that they've done.
It's Vampire Survivors.
Oh shoot! That might be right up my alley. I need to finish Vampire
yeah,
Survivors.
no,
but
it's very addictive and fun.
Yeah.
Do you like those games? Have you guys? I hope this comes to console. There's a Vampire Survivors clone that just came out on PC called Mega Bonk.
Oh, I've
And
heard
it's
about
kind
this.
of
Yeah,
floating
yeah. This is the
Yeah.
skeleton one. Is that one, or is that?
Yeah, Mega Bonk.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck.
I would love for that to get a console release.
Yeah, Cameron's in the chat saying that he loves Mega Bonk. So yeah, I think that yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about it. They say it's a great time.
Yeah,
good marketing.
Mega Bonk's supposed to be really good. Yeah.
All right. Also, I just want to give a shout out to Wide Productions because they did provide a code for that Karma the Dark World game. So thank you very much to them.
That's it. Karma. That's the one I tried last night.
Right, gotcha.
Oh, right.
Yes.
All
Trippy.
right.
Weird.
Yeah, I like that kind of shit. All right. Well, let's get on to the word challenge. No one's quite got it yet. I'm very surprised, but the word challenge is a competition where I come up with a game, and you go on our Discord and you guess what the game is in our word challenge channel. You've got to give it exactly right, like cases and punctuation and shit. And a GIF pops up, and you win if the GIF works, which sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Because I can't test it, otherwise they give you all the answer. So, but I give a clue each week, ranging from not very helpful to basically giving you the answer. We're getting towards the end now, so if no one gets it now, I'll be very surprised. But the first one is, this game is a platformer, side-scrolling, so it's 2D, has no enemies, and the new clue is you get a cosmetic crown for finishing the game. So best of luck to everyone. That should be a pretty quick one. I'm sure Legacy will get it like that. But good luck, everyone. Leaderboards. Shane, do you want to jump on that?
Yes, I can do that. That's above that list. And it's really hard to... Wait. There it is. It wasn't in order. Oh, I gotta go over here too. One sec. All right. Number 1 is Mephisto for the win with 33,380 points. Thrash Forever with 33,200 points.
So close.
Northern Last with 21,565,000 gamer score. Wow.
I don't understand how they managed to put these numbers up each week, especially Thrash. Thrash has been consistently in the top 3 for like the last 3 years, it feels like.
That's insane. Where am I at on this list?
Yeah, I'm
Where's
in
Neo?
10th with 3,900.
Ooh, 710. Booyah.
Yeah, killing it. If you want to join the leaderboard, let us know. It's on TA. We can add you, especially if you're going to be a high scorer and you want to get in that top 3. Completions. Jake, you want to run through that?
Yeah. Sorry, my computer's being chugging along.
Get a little robotic there.
But so sorry
Yeah,
about yeah. I think we're stable. Sorry, my computer just decided it wanted to have a little bit of an episode. Yeah, completions. Mike ADV finished Borderlands 4. Sudden Fall finished Shiftlings. Left 4 Dead Pills here finished Life is Strange Remastered and Lamentum and Toybox Turbos. Cameron, aka Shadowless AU, finished Karma the Dark World. Renage Dan finished Carmen San Diego. Rapture finished Welcome to Paradise. Bulbasaur finished Sonic and All-Star Racing Transformed, and the Moonzone finished RoboCop Rogue City. Well done. GG's to all.
Nice job. You have some good ones in there. That Racing Transform one apparently is quite difficult too. I like the original Sega Racing one. That was relatively straightforward, but they get harder after that.
Transformed had a lot of time trial stuff, really close timing. So.
Bobsaw's been putting in the work on those games that he plays. He doesn't play a huge amount of stuff, but when he does, he tends to crack down on it. All right. Well, I think it's pretty much going to bring us near to the show. Anything we want to shill? Jake, you got anything going on?
Not these days. At this point, everyone knows where to find me, where I'm trolling around. Hall of Gamers Discord or Achievement Hunters Anonymous Discord is where you can find me. And from there, you can really easily find my Xbox, PSN, probably maybe Nintendo, probably Steam. And if you can't and you want them, just ask.
Oh, Kitty. Shane, what about you?
You can find me on YouTube. I'm putting up videos every day. I'm streaming every night on Twitch. And of course, you can find me in the Hall of Gamers podcast, bugging you guys when I can.
Yeah.
And firearcd.com if you want to get everything, all the stuff.
And Kia, what about you now that you have all this free time?
Oh, Yeah, free time on days that other people are actually available. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can just catch me here live at home on basically everywhere, and yeah, at How to Fix Gaming on YouTube. I haven't posted anything in ages, but now that I have a consistent day off, I'm considering the Monday stream or something again. I just might need a couple of weeks to work up to that because I gotta work my shit out. So, yeah, that's it.
Excellent. And of course, I was going to read out, but it looks like I was right. Legacy has immediately got the word challenge. I won't tell you what it is to keep you in suspense and to try and get you to go on the Discord. So good job, Legacy. I'll give you a shout out next week as well, though. And a huge thank you also to Admiral Awesome, who subscribed again, once again. He's been subscribed for 30 months, which is crazy. And yes, it would be great if you can one day make a live episode before we get right to the end, but we love your support anyway.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Admiral, he has been subscribed to my Twitch channel for, I'm trying to pull it up, I don't know, 64 months in a row.
Jesus.
I haven't streamed in probably 2 or 3 years at this point. He's still going. He sends me screenshots.
Amazing. I mean, and Admiral also helps support the Patreon, so a huge thank you to him for that. He's one of those.
The true supporter.
He's one of those real ones for sure. But I'm Neomaster on everything, True Achievements, Xbox, and Discord as always. We do the show live on Twitch, so thank you for our live audience members. If you want to come support the show, Patreon, Twitch is a great way to come say hi. You can subscribe to us on there. But we also put the episodes up on YouTube, so if you miss the VODs and you want to catch them, you can see the wonderful, fun thumbnails that Char makes for us every week. Go check those out. But that's going to be episode 164. 180, 186. Jeez, 164. 186.
You'll off, okay.
Yeah. We will catch you guys next week. See you later.